Hey guys, just checking in real quick before you guys take your quiz. A couple things I want to go through. Remember, when we are solving these problems, we are looking for to make our x factor first. And with that, you have to make sure that your equation is in standard form. So ax squared plus bx plus c, and it must equal 0. So if it doesn't equal 0 over here, you're going to have to add or subtract to get those items to the other side. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this. You need to then make your x factor problem. So when we do that, we're looking to take our two outside numbers for the top, a times c, and then that middle term, watch your signs right here, that middle term drops down here. Then we're looking for our two magic numbers. We've got, I think in the past we've called it magic number 1 and number 2. And what's special about these numbers is that they must multiply together to make the top number and they add together to make the bottom. Okay. And you can use your yellow factor sheet to help you find these two numbers based off this top number and then double check that they can add to that. Okay. Next thing we want to make sure that they do is to divide by our a term here. We may need to simplify that. And then we can put them into our factors. And we say x plus number 1 over a and x plus number 2 over a. And again, that could be simplified. And then we're going to break each of those apart and say x plus number 1 over a equals 0. And same over here, x plus the number 2 over a equals 0. And we're going to solve and get that x equals 2 answers. Okay, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's take a look at the front side here. Okay, first thing I notice on this first problem, okay, always want to check to make sure that there is a common factor. I can look at my little yellow factor chart and see, hey, 1 and 7 make 7, but I also see that 7 can make a 42. So we're going to divide everything by 7, and I'm left with x squared plus 6x equals 0. Okay. So if you're someone that likes to still make the factor on this, the x factor on this, that's fine. If you're someone that recognizes, hey, I can factor an x out of that, that's fine too. I'm going to go ahead and make the diamond on this. Okay. What I want you guys to understand that there's only two terms here. So that's like saying x squared plus 6x plus 0 equals 0. There's nothing in that c term. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the two outside numbers together. 1 times 0 is 0. What adds to 6? What are two numbers that can add or multiply to 0 but add to 6? Well, anytime you need something to multiply to a 0, one of those numbers is going to be 0. Well, what plus 0 can make 6? 6. Divide by my new a term, which is 1, and that equals 0. And this equals just 6. So we have our two factors of x plus 0 and x plus 6 equals 0. This answer comes down as x equals 0. This answer comes down as take the opposite sign. Because it's a positive 6, it's going to equal a negative 6. So those are my two answers on this problem. Taking a look at number 2, my front term is a 1, so I got nothing to divide out of it. We're going to go ahead and make the diamond. Multiply the outside. 1 times 8 is 8. Drop down the inside. Look at your yellow factor sheet. What can multiply to an 8? 1 and 8, 2 and 4. And which of those can make a 9? That's just going to be 1 and 8. And everything here is positive, so I'm going to divide by 1. That equals 8. That equals 1. So my two factors are going to be x plus 1 and x plus 8 equals 0. Okay? Take the opposite side, x equals negative 1. Take the opposite sign, x equals negative 8. Those are my two answers. Okay, looking down here at number 5. Okay, sorry, not number 5, number 3. I'm looking at that 5 there. First thing I notice here, guys, it does not equal 0. So because I notice that that's my b term, that needs to subtract and go right in the middle. And so now I'm left with 5x squared minus 14x plus 8 equals 0. A, B, C equals 0 order. We're good to go. Check it over. I see that front term is 5, and I know that there's nothing that can go into all of those. So we're good there. Go ahead and make our diamond. Multiply the outside. 5 times 8 is 40. Drop down that inside of negative 14. Looking at your factor chart, what combinations can multiply to a 40? 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, 8 and 5. Okay, which of those combinations can make a 14? That's going to be 10 and 4. Now, also look at your little chart. How am I going to make a positive top but a negative bottom? Those have to be negative. Divide by A. A is 5. This one doesn't simplify, so I'm going to circle it. Negative 10 divided by 5 makes a negative 2. Okay, put it in my factors. X minus 2, x minus 4 over 5. Take my opposite signs here. X equals positive 2 and positive 4 over 5. Again, take opposites. There's my two answers. And then lastly, number 4. Again, I don't want to move this 3 over here because we want that positive front term. So I'm going to add 14 to the other side and subtract 5 to the other side. I end up with 3n squared plus 14n minus 5 equals 0. Okay, go ahead and make my x factor. Multiply the outside to get negative 15. Drop down that inside. What can multiply to a 15 but add to a 14? And that's going to be a 15 and 1 is the only combination that can make a 14. How? 15 minus 1. Okay, divide by A. Divide by A. That one's good. 15 divided by 3, though, equals 5. Go to my factors. X plus 5. X minus 1 over 3 equals 0. Take my opposite signs. X is going to equal negative 5 and positive 1/3. Okay? And again, you guys can use this. You guys can use your factor chart. Please use your factor chart. Make sure you have a calculator. And good luck. Have a good day. Bye.